Hello, I'm Sebastian Lucido, and welcome to 5 Minute Fresh Start. We've heard about predestination. It's been in Christianity. Is everything predestined? Has God, he talked about Judas 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, and then Judas did what he did. Is everything predestined? Is everything laid out already? Are we just simply going through the motions? And the answer to that is no. I want to explain that today in Romans chapter 8. In Romans chapter 8, verse 29, it says, For whom he foreknew, he also predestinated to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he predestinated, those he also called, and whom he called, those he also justified, and those he justified, those he also glorified. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He that did not spare his own Son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? So let's go back through it. Verse 29, it says, For whom he foreknew, he also predestinated. And this is the key to this. This is the key to understanding this. God has given each one of us free will. So each one of us, every man, woman, child, everyone born on the earth, even the angelic hosts, all of his creation has free will. Okay, so when it says those he foreknew, he predestinated, it means he knows what we would do with our free will and predestinates a plan. In other words, I am living life out according to my free will, but he knows what I'm doing tomorrow and next month and next year and predestinates a plan. And so you have to get this in your mind. You have to get this in your head. He knew Judas would sell out Jesus and betray him, and he predestinated a plan. And so God, it's hard for us to understand. Psalm 139 says he knows our thoughts before we think them. He knows our thoughts altogether. He knows exactly where we're at every time. So in other words, in all of the 200 billion light years of the universe, he is in all of those. He is on every planet. He's on every sun. He's on, he knows the number of hairs on our heads. We can't understand that knowledge. It's faith. We have to believe what he says he can do, right? He knows the number of hairs on my head. He knows the number of hairs on your head, and they're all numbered. He knows our thoughts. He knew me before I was born. He knew you before you were born. He knew us before the ages were. We can't get our arms or our head around that. We just have to believe it, because everything else in Scripture is God-breathed and it's his word, okay? So what he's saying here is he knows Sebastian Lucido today, right? But he knows what I'll do tomorrow. He knows what I'll do the day after. And he's predestinated a plan to push me and mold me and shape me and conform me into the image of Jesus Christ. So I think like him. I live like him. I love like him. Just like you. I mean, we're all, you can plug yourself into that. I'm using myself as an example. So what he's telling us here is, because he has a will. He has a perfect will for us. He has a good will for us, and he has an acceptable will for us. So we can fall into any one of those through our free will. He knows what we're going to do, but he's predestinated a plan in front of us. He does not take away our free will. He will not engage in us to destroy the ability for us to make a decision on our own. He prompts us, he leads us, he guides us. We have to deny ourselves. We have to pick up our cross. We have to follow him. Those are intentional free will issues. He blesses us by giving us wisdom, revelation, and knowledge about what his will is, but he also leads us and guides us by his Spirit. But we have to what? Yield to his Spirit. We don't have to do what his Spirit says or his word says. We can walk away from him at any time. That's why once saved, always saved is a wrong doctrine, because he'd have to take our free will away. Well, hey, that's our message for today. Do 3 things for me, please. Share this with many people. Share it with your entire network. Let's get this daily devotion, five minutes a day. Let's get millions of people watching it. Let's join our website if you're not a part of us, watchersoftruth.com. You sign up to be a free member. You get all of our notes for our teachings. You get our private blogs, you get our public blogs, you get curriculum, access to workbooks and videos and curriculums. And if you're not supporting us, please go to our website, become a partner for $10 or $20 a month or whatever the Lord leads you to do, and help us in our ministry. That's our message for today. God bless you and have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.